What's up, y'all? It's your boy RJ Powell. We are back with another video today, and today it's a little different type of video. Today we out in nature. You see, I went to the park for this video because today is gonna be a kind of serious topic. It's gonna be a conversation about mental health. Now, last night I watched the Netflix David Letterman series, and the second season they just dropped yesterday. They had Kanye West on it, and I watched that about 2 times, and I even wrote notes on it to talk to you today about everything that I got from it, things that struck a chord in my heart, and things I just needed to say to all of you. I'm really gonna break down what they talked about in there, and Kanye West and David Letterman, pretty much the main focus was centered around Kanye West himself, but the main topic that was most talked about was mental health in general and about his bipolar. We're gonna get into all that today, but Kanye West was pretty much talking about his mental health, how he got diagnosed with bipolar like 2 years ago. The first thing they really talked about, well, first they got the ball rolling with simple questions like, what did you eat for breakfast, what's your name, what's your weight, kind of funny stuff to start off the conversation. And then David Letterman jumps right into Kanye West talking about his past deceased mother, Donda West, and his father, and how they influenced him in his life, and he was pretty much talking about that. And then they move on to like David Letterman and Kanye West, like Kanye dressing up David Letterman in some Yeezy gear, which I thought was hilarious. Kanye West was pretty much talking about his fashion brand to David Letterman. David Letterman even got to try on a few clothes and got to buy some. So that was pretty funny to me and pretty great to watch. And then after that, they pretty much dived into the mental health conversation. And I just wrote some things that, you know, stuck out to me. Like the first quote, he said that Kanye West said he loves seeing people at the maximum version of their character. He was pretty much saying he loves people being themselves, which I agree with. I love people being themselves and people being unique and authentic to their true self and not acting like anybody else. And then another quote that was really, that really struck something in me was that my power is the ability not to be influenced. He previously said that his friend told him that his power is his influence, and then Kanye West was like, no, my power is the ability not to be influenced. He was pretty much talking about how we are all programmed in society to think this certain way and to think this certain way about certain things, and that society programs us in different types of ways. And I truly agree that society kind of swings us to think in this certain direction. And he talked about how the sources of energy, like when people throw hate at you, well, when people threw hate at him, he took it as, oh, I'm gonna keep that energy and turn it to positive energy. It was pretty much the idea of turning negative energy into positive energy. And so I fully agree with that. Even though people may comment under hateful comments or they don't like me or like my videos, I really don't care. I turn that to positive, and I try to be a better version of myself each and every day of my life. So I thought that was very important to the conversation. He moves on to talk about David Letterman, kind of transitions to him talking about his recent album. It came out 1 year ago from, I think, yesterday. He was talking about the Ye album cover. Kanye West, he has the album cover. It's titled Ye, but on the album cover it has mountains, and his writing, it says, I hate being bipolar, it's awesome. It's pretty much the dichotomy and the irony. It's kind of like, it was kind of symbolizing bipolarism and how he hates bipolar, but at the same time it's awesome. It's just the dichotomy of having the bipolar. And he says being bipolar is his superpower. He uses that as a luxury rather than something that will cripple him. And so I think it's awesome that he's using his mental health for good and seeing it in a positive attitude. And he also talked about his bipolar, his experience being bipolar. He said that if you're bipolar and if you don't take your medication, you're more likely to ramp up. And what he meant by ramp up is that by TMZ's definition, you could become erratic. You could become very erratic and ramp up. And it's pretty much the intensified character of yourself. It's like your character being very powerful in a sense. And so he says if you don't take your medicine, he's most likely to ramp up a lot bit more, and he could end up in a hospital. And he did end up in a hospital this time last year. And he described being bipolar as having a split personality. And when you ramp up, it's expressing more of your personality and your character. And so that was pretty interesting to me to find out kind of more about bipolar, because I really don't know much about bipolar besides, you know, you could go from here to here one day, and that's pretty much all I know. So it was great that Kanye really explained it all through. He also said when he ramps up, it's kind of he's really hiding his connection with the universe when he's ramped up. And that's pretty interesting to me. You would think that when you're like on a high level, when being bipolar, you wouldn't be connected to the world at all. But for him, his experience, he was talking about how he feels more connected with the universe in that way, and that his creative ability is more heightened than when he's taking medication. He says when he's not taking medication, he's more creative, he's more fully himself. And David Letterman was also talking about that. He was talking about how he wasn't taking medication, and he didn't want to take medication for years and years. And then one day his doctor said, you got to try the medication. And it really opened his eyes. He described it as a new pair of sunglasses. And that was very specific to his problem. And he felt that the medication he got was very helpful. And then Kanye kind of combated with, you got the Prada glass. He would kind of make a joke out of it. He was like, you got the Prada glasses. You got the medication specific to your needs. And also this quote from me that Kanye West said about the brain, about mental health in general. He says, a sprained brain is like a sprained ankle. And we don't treat a sprained brain like a sprained ankle. Like a sprained ankle, we're not gonna push up on it and make it more sprained as it is and make it more hurtful as it is. We're gonna treat it. We're gonna help take care of it. But with mental health, we kind of push it and don't talk about mental health issues that often, and it kind of hurting us, and we push it back to the point where it's like, dang, you know. But anyway, he was just talking about how we don't treat a sprained brain like a sprained ankle. Like the brain is the most vital, important part of our body besides our heart and, you know, our other organs and systems in our body. And so that was just very interesting to me. I truly agree with that. We don't treat mental health like we do a sprained ankle. We don't treat it like it's hurt. You know, it's like an injury. It's like an injury in a sort of way. But he also said that we're all dealing with mental health. And I was kind of like, at first. I was kind of confused at first about what he was saying. I was like, we're all dealing with mental health? Really? And then I had to truly think back and like, dang, we really are. Whether it's very small or very big. Some people have bipolar, some people have mixed personalities, but it's like everyday things. Like we get mad, and when we raise our voice, that's like a small dose of like mental health, or like us going crazy. We're trying to be driven by what society says. We're driven by our career. We're driven by our family. Like we kind of juggle all these things in our everyday lives, and some people can balance them out. Some people can balance them out better than others, and we're just dealing with all of these things, and we really never think about our mental health. And I agree, everybody is dealing with mental health, whether on the small or big level. We all go through things every day, like every day. And another quote that really relates to that is that all humans have good and bad thoughts. And I was like, we all have those days where we thinking about not really suicidal, but more of, dang, what if I wasn't here? I just want to sit in my room all day. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to anybody. And we have the good, positive side, like, dang, I'm the best ever. I'm doing better. I love everybody. I love my family. But we also have the day like, I hate everybody. I don't want to be here no more. Not in a way that suicidal in a sense. Some people suicidal in a sense. But like, I know I dealt with some of that. I was like, days were like, dang, I really don't want to be here. Like I remember before I dropped out of college, man, it was kind of hard because I was sitting there. I was like, what am I really doing? Why am I here? Like I'm sitting here like I'm doing the same things each and every day, not learning anything new. It was pretty much negative. I tried my best to be so positive in that time. I think I've gotten better over time and progressing as each day goes on. But like, yeah, stuff like that we think about every day, the good and the bad. So that was pretty much, I pretty much was like, dang, that's great. They was talking about medicine and how they're also the primitives and alternatives to medicine, because sometimes medicine is not the best way to go. When a doctor prescribes you something, I think we automatically think, oh, we got to take this because the doctor says we do. But there's also alternatives. Now, I haven't looked up any alternatives to medicine, but I'm pretty sure there's a bevy of them. Maybe like tea, or maybe even meditation or like prayer is like an alternative to some things. And David Letterman jumps into one of the first tracks on Kanye West's album named Ye, I Thought About Killing You. Kanye West talked about how it's a train of thought. It's a track that's about a train of thought. You think about, killing yourself, as the title says, killing yourself, but not doing it. He talks about how he says think it all the way through, but don't do it. Think about all the consequences, all the negative things that could happen, all the positive things. Like think it all the way through, but just don't do it. I think it's very important to, think about what you're gonna do before you do it. Think it all the way through. Think about what could happen to your family, to your friends, to people around you, to even yourself, your legacy. Like what could happen? Like think it all the way through. I think that's very important for people to do. Think things all the way through. I think most oftentimes we don't process things. We kind of just go about our day like, we do this, we do that. We never take time to like think. And especially when we're going through hard times, we try to keep ourselves busy, when in reality, we just need to talk about these things. And I totally forgot about Sunday service. Kanye West went really in depth and took us behind the scenes a little bit of what they do in Sunday service. And it was pretty amazing to watch David Letterman get to experience this. He described it as undescribable, and it was an experience that he can't really explain. And it was just happy and refreshing to see Kanye West in this state of mind. And Kanye West said the ultimate goal of Sunday service is for world peace. And so I just wanted to throw that in there and let y'all know about Sunday service, about Kanye West. This is the whole point of the video. I'm just having a conversation to all of you out there, and also breaking down what Kanye West and David Letterman was saying on the show. If you haven't watched the episode, I advise you to watch it. It was very important. It was very refreshing to see Kanye in this state, but not only Kanye. It wasn't really, to me at the end of the day, seeing that wasn't really about Kanye. It was really about mental health, starting up a dialogue and starting off a conversation about what everyday people go through, talk about the awareness we need to have about mental health, because the mental health, especially in the black community, is detrimental. And I think we need spaces where we could talk about it. And I think this is the open space right now. I'm open to anybody talking to me. You can find me on my Twitter at the RJ Powell. You can find me on Instagram, RJ_Powell. We could just talk about it. Y'all could DM me anything. We could just talk about these things. Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know about mental health. I just wanted to start a conversation. I know these bugs in the way, but I just want to get out into nature and do it, because I feel like nature, it's a way to clear your mind. And I wanted to get away from all the distractions. And yeah, but anyway, let me guys know what you think about the episode. Let's start talking about it more. This is just not an NBA channel. I want to talk about more things. I want to get into more issues about society one day, and I'm gonna start making more documentaries this summer. Hopefully, more talks with different people alongside me, so we can start up these conversations. And hopefully, y'all got something out of it. I know I did by just talking about it and by just watching it. But anyway, if you haven't watched the episode, I advise you to watch it. Let's spark this conversation. Let's spark change right now, guys. But anyway, it's your boy RJ Powell. We out.